if x is equal to 3, the method of substitution would say, anywhere I see an x, I can put a 3. Okay. Look right here. I'm just, ignore the problem right now, I'm just talking about substitution. In substitution, if x equals 3, everywhere I see an x, I can put a 3. Alright, so let me change it up a little bit. A equals b. Everywhere I see an A, I can put a B. Everywhere I see a B, I can put a A. Okay, changing it up. Everywhere I see a Y, I can put a 2x. Everywhere I see a 2x, I can put a Y. Alright, we're getting it? Alright, here we go.
Yeah.
No.
No. Everywhere I see a 3y squared minus 1, I could put a
x plus 2 divided by 3y.
Divided by 3. Alright. Everywhere I see an x plus 2 over 3y, I could put
3y squared minus 1.
It doesn't have to be something super simple. I can substitute whole chunks of ideas. Okay? As long as they're equal, I can substitute. So sometimes it can be a little tricky on substitution. And so yeah. Alright. In order to use substitution, you need to have something, that equals that you can substitute. In this case, what they're going to ask you to sort of do is looking here, hey, here's an x, but it'd be nice if x was by itself in one of those so that we could substitute. Meaning if it says x equals, then we can change whatever x is into what it equals. Okay? Let's just pick the second one because it's going to be easiest to work with. How do I get x by itself? Add 5y. So I'm going to add 5y. Those don't really combine, so I just have 5y minus 10. And I just have x over here. So wherever I see an x, I can put 5y minus 10. Hey, do I see an x up here? What can I put? 5y minus 10. Then what does it say? Plus 4y. Is equal to, what does it say? 26. So how many? 5y's plus 4y's? 9y's? This is something that happens a lot. Is sometimes people are like, well, I need to go minus 4y here, minus 4y here. When they're on the same side, there's no like subtracting and moving or anything. Like you just put them together. It's when they're on opposite sides that you need to move one to the other side. Right now they're on the same side. 5 plus 4? I got 9 of them. I still have the minus 10 over here though, equals 26. So when I want to move the 10 over, that's when I add. I do the opposite. So it's only when you move to the other side that you got to do that. So 9y is equal to, what's 26 plus 10? 36. Divide that by 9, y would equal 4. So if y equals 4, how do I find out what x is? In a moment. So plug in 4 for y. It doesn't matter what equation you use. In fact, you can even use an equation you came up with. Do you see that one? I know what y is. It'd be really easy to just plug it in there, and it'll tell me what x is. I don't even necessarily need to go back to one of the originals. Any of the equations you have here will work, as long as it's got x and y in it. So let me plug in 4 here. What's 5 times 4?
20.
20 minus 10 is 10. X is equal to 10. So that's the method of substitution. Okay? You can be tricky. Sometimes there are times where you can be tricky and you can use a kind of substitution. Hopefully I'll show you. I'm going to show one of probably the next one trying to use both methods that we have. So one's called substitution. That was substitution. Okay? So let me refocus here. What happens when you add opposites? Let me give you some examples. 2 plus negative 2 is 0. Negative 3 plus 3 is 18.4 plus negative 18.4. When you add opposites, you get 0. In the method of elimination, what I want to end up doing is adding opposites, and I'll get 0. Okay? Sometimes you can subtract the same way. So as I look up here, I want you to just pick a letter. Uh-oh, I got 1 vote for X, 1 vote for Y. Oh, 2 votes for Y. Another vote for X. Another vote for X.
Y.
Another one for Y and X. I'm at 4 and 4.
Hey!
Change
Hey!
it from Y to X.
Y!
Oh, okay,
A
excellent.
real number.
Okay, we're gonna eliminate x. Here's how you do it. Okay. I need your focus. This lesson is the cornerstone lesson to the chapter. It's the cornerstone lesson. Okay. So this is 3x, and this is 1x. What's the least common multiple between 3 and 1? The least common multiple. 3. 3, I mean, it's 1, so I mean, it's multiplied by 3, right? So we want to make these the same number but opposite numbers, so that's why we're looking at the least common multiple, because then we can multiply. If this is 3, and we want the opposite, what do we want here? How do I get -3 here? What do I multiply this by? I multiply it by the entire thing by -3. Okay? And I can do that. If I multiply every piece of the equation, left and right side, it will still be the same. Yeah?
But does that mean you have to do it to the top one or no?
No, because they're separate equations.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to do the same thing to 2 equations. You have to do the same thing to the 1 equation on both sides of it.
So then aren't you multiplying, wouldn't that make it also, with the parentheses, wouldn't that make it -3x plus -3 times 4y?
Yeah, we're going to multiply.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what is -3 times x? -3x. Alright, what's -3 times 4y?
-12y.
-12y. What's -3 times 11?
-33.
Okay? Now I'm going to rewrite what's up here, the top one. I'm going to write it underneath so you see what I'm doing. We're not going to subtract. The reason why we have opposites, what do you do to opposites to make them go to 0? You add them. So we're going to go -3x plus 3x. -3x plus 3x is 0. It's eliminated. It's not there anymore. Now, I'm going to make you think. -12y plus -y. Right? Yeah, that's negative. It's like -12 minus 1. Because when you plus a minus, it's still a minus. So this is -13y. What's -33 plus 7?
27. -24.
Close.
-20.
-26.
No.
The way, when you're working with these kind of numbers, hey guys, sometimes it's easier to think, what's 33 minus 7? What's 33 minus 7? 26. This is the opposite, because instead of 33 minus 7, it's -33 plus 7. It's just the opposite, so it's -26. Alright, how do I solve that? What am I going to divide by? -13? Alright, what's -26 divided by -13?
2.
2. So y is 2. How do I find out what x is?
Plug it
Plug
in.
it
Plug it in. I can plug it in anywhere. Oh, that's 2.
Dang.
I can plug it in here. 3x minus what's y?
2.
2 is equal to 7. I'm going to add the 2. So I'm going to
X
3x
is
is
3.
equal to 9.
X is 3.
3. Elimination, the best way to do it, the best way, you listening, is to make your, pick a letter, just pick one, and if you don't know which one you should pick, just pick any one you want. You can do it with either one. Some are easier, it's sometimes easier to pick one letter or another, and you want to make them opposites. That's the simplest way, but you don't have to make them opposites. Okay, you guys focus in?
Yes.
If they're already identical, you can subtract. What's x minus x?
0.
0. What's 2y minus y?
Y.
What's 10 minus 6?
4.
The key idea is that if I start subtracting, I have to subtract with every piece.